You had an eventful week, man. What's going on, Mr. David?
Right around. What's up? How you?
You went to the party.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I did.
You went to the party.
I definitely did.
Threw a party,
I definitely did.
Yeah.
David came over.
I definitely did.
Tension hit immediately when Jim Jones put loyalty on trial, targeting Dave East directly. In Harlem, loyalty isn't just a word, it's a line you don't cross. This call-out didn't come off playful or promotional. It felt like a checkpoint. By questioning Dave's stance toward Max B, Jim raised the temperature instantly. Max's name still carries history, weight, and unresolved emotion, so bringing it up publicly is never casual. This wasn't clout chasing, it was strategic positioning. The streets read it as a warning wrapped in conversation, forcing people to decide their next moves. When a veteran speaks on loyalty, people pay attention, because loyalty dictates who eats, who waits, and who gets left behind.
Crazy.
No, listen.
Nah, I ain't gonna front, real man shit.
Let's talk about it.
I'm glad the brother got his freedom.
Right.
Shouts to
100%.
Max.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Fan of his music. He on Survival. He actually on my first album. But yeah, I'm glad I got to go, poly with him.
So it was a lot of talk on the internet about.
They told me I was kicked off of this.
Yeah, they did. He said you was there. He said you was. I didn't even.
For doing that.
That was crazy.
That's what they told you.
Internet kicked you off the show.
The internet
They said
kicked
I
you
got
off.
kicked off this joint. I can't rap about it no more.
What made the moment hit harder was the timing. Dave East has earned respect for his bars, calculated moves, and loyalty to Harlem roots, often avoiding old feuds. That balance works until it doesn't. Once Jim challenged it, the spotlight turned uncomfortable. In this culture, neutrality can be mistaken for indecision, and indecision can read as disloyalty. The call-out threw that door wide open. Fans didn't hear just a track, they heard a test, and tests never end quietly. Social media didn't fill with jokes, it buzzed with analysis. Clips were replayed, words weighed, and intent debated. Was Jim protecting history, demanding clarity, reminding everyone that Max B's story isn't just a playlist add-on, but a chapter still unresolved? Those questions spread fast because they felt real. Harlem politics aren't hypothetical, they're lived. And when live issues are aired, reactions turn serious.
I've been in contact with Max.
Right.
From jail. You know what I'm saying? He's on the album, Yo East. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it was a man thing. Let me holler at Jim. How you feel about that, bro?
No, that's honorable.
He could have easily been like, yo, bro,
100%.
I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
we had our own one on. You get what I'm saying? So I felt like I'm not gonna be put in a space where I'm leaning on no side. You get what I'm saying? Like, I fuck with Boy, I fuck with Capo. Like, I'm not picking a side. Like, that ain't me.
That's respect.
The energy around the moment felt old school. No memes, no goofy captions, just a collective pause, and that pause told the story. In a culture that moves fast, pauses mean waiting. Jim's words weren't loud, but they cut deep. Dave's silence after the call-out spoke just as loudly. Silence isn't weakness, sometimes it's calculation. But calculation gets judged when loyalty is on the table. That's the pressure that landed. By the end of that first wave, the narrative wasn't about beef, it was about alignment. Who aligns with whom and why? The streets know alignment shapes careers as much as bars do. Once alignment gets questioned publicly, the room changes. People watch movies closely. Every feature, every interview, every post becomes a signal. That's how tension rises without a single diss track dropping.
People don't know. You see, both of us had different opinions, and I think it's dope that because I always feel like two things can be true at the same time.
Right.
Right. You felt one way, I felt another way.
Right.
You went to the party, but you had already had a conversation with Capo. Talk about that.
Yeah, I feel like I never was around him, Max.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but we had our own relationship through who we know or whatever. And me being around Jim as long as I've been around Jim, and Jim being around my moms and my kids, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta holler at Capo, like, yo, bro, how you feel about that? Because I got invited directly, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm gonna definitely have that convo with bro before I just pop up and he gotta hear about it. Like, that's just me.
No, it's definitely honor in that, brother.
As the conversation grew, the focus shifted from words to history, because history explains why this hit so hard. Jim and Max's past is layered, emotional, and unresolved in the public eye, and that unresolved energy lingers like smoke. When Dave East shows respect to Max, fans see it as honor in Harlem. When Jim hears it, he hears context. Context changes meaning. That's the problem with shared spaces and shared legends. Everyone reads the same move differently. The call-out forced that difference into daylight. The culture started breaking down how loyalty operates across generations. Veterans expect clarity, while newer voices navigate flexibility. That gap can cause friction even without malice. Dave's lane has always been about honoring roots while keeping momentum clean. Jim's lane has always been about guarding legacy and territory. When those lanes cross, misunderstandings don't stay private, they surface. And once surfaced, they demand a response. What intensified the tension was the idea of playing both sides. In street logic, there are no two sides. There's alignment and there's distance. The industry complicates that with collaborations and optics, but the streets still judge by code. Jim's call-out sounded like a reminder of that code. Firm, not aggressive, not reckless. Firm words don't need volume, they need recognition, and recognition came fast.
You know, we could look at it from our perspectives individually outside of Capo, but at the same time, this is really his experience. You know what I'm saying? This is something he went through, and you can't tell a man how to feel about something that he went through and we didn't go through. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't really understand the principle until it's done to them. You know what I'm saying? So like, when it happened to them, then they could get it.
It changed.
When it's something outside, it's easy to tell somebody, yeah, let that shit go, or you know what I'm saying?
That's not your call.
Right. So whenever he do let it go, if he do or not, you know what I'm saying? We in support of course, of letting shit go and moving forward. But at the same time, it's going to take everybody's time on their timing. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the internet or
that ain't no
our
group thing, man.
No, that's not.
Really
that's
how you
thing.
feel in your own.
No matter how you feel, I feel like I want us, New York as a whole, to be.
Fans debated whether the pressure was fair. Some said Dave earned the right to show love without choosing sides. Others argued loyalty isn't optional when history runs deep. That split revealed how the culture itself is divided between evolution and tradition. Evolution seeks flexibility. Tradition demands allegiance. This moment puts those values head to head, and when values clash, tension rises naturally. The absence of immediate responses kept the situation simmering. No clapbacks meant no release valve. Without release, speculation fills the space, and speculation doesn't calm anything, it tightens it. People began watching for subtle signals: who posts what, who appears where, who says whose name. That level of scrutiny only happens when something real is at stake, and something real was at stake here: respect. By this point, the call-out had done its job. It forced awareness. Awareness leads to decisions. Decisions lead to consequences. The culture understands that sequence well. Nobody rushed to label winners or losers, because this wasn't about winning. It was about standing. And where someone stands determines where they can move next.
We all in a room together, right? Because we all got our own relationships. And I don't think niggas give us the credit for actually starting to come together and band together and having unity in New York. Everybody was running around screaming about New York don't have unity, right? And we all came together, and we all individual artists, individual fathers, individual niggas, and we learned how to have brotherhood and still balance our individual craft. So I can't wait to the day that we all, you know what I'm saying? It's like we New York, period.
Right.
You know? But everything is gonna happen in its time.
Facts.
As days passed, the conversation matured into a deeper reflection on Harlem politics. This wasn't just about three names. It was about how neighborhoods remember, Harlem remembers who rode, who waited, who spoke, and who stayed silent. That memory doesn't reset with new eras, it carries forward. Jim's words tapped into that memory, and once memory is activated, emotions follow. Emotions don't need facts to feel real, they need history. The streets also recognize the restraint. Nobody escalated, nobody disrespected. That restraint kept the situation serious instead of messy. Serious moments don't need theatrics, they need clarity. Jim demanded clarity. Dave weighed options. Max's name hovered over everything like a reminder of unfinished business. That triangle created tension without violence, without music, without spectacle. That's grown tension, and grown tension lasts. People discussed how loyalty tests don't always ask for answers out loud. Sometimes the answer is in future behavior. Who gets support? Who gets space? Who gets distance? Those shifts don't trend immediately, but they define trajectories. The culture started watching for those shifts because shifts tell the truth better than statements ever could. This moment also highlighted how respect travels differently across age lines. Older figures expect acknowledgement of scars and sacrifices. Younger figures expect freedom to move. Neither is wrong, but friction happens when expectations collide. Jim's call-out was a collision point. It forced both sides to recognize differences in expectations and deal with them publicly. Public dealing is uncomfortable, but it's honest. As the narrative cooled slightly, it didn't disappear. Settled tension is more powerful than loud beef. Loud beef burns out. Settled tension shapes decisions quietly. The culture knows this pattern. They've seen it play out before. That's why reactions stayed measured. People weren't entertained. They were attentive. By now, the scandal wasn't about a single quote. It was about how loyalty is negotiated in modern hip-hop without erasing old codes. That negotiation isn't clean. It's messy, slow, and emotional, but it's necessary. And moments like this define the culture more than any headline ever could. This forced the conversation forward, whether anyone wanted it or not. In the end, the moment didn't explode. It pressed pause and demanded alignment. And in this culture, alignment is everything. Jim's call-out put loyalty on the table without overturning it. Dave's response, whether spoken or shown, will shape how the story moves next. Max's presence reminded everyone that history doesn't expire just because time passes, and that reminder landed heavy. The culture walked away with a clearer understanding of how respect operates. When legends, peers, and newer voices share the same space, respect isn't just saying names, it's choosing sides when lines get drawn. Lines were drawn here, even if softly, and soft lines still divide rooms. Divided rooms shift energy fast. This wasn't about canceling anyone, it was about accountability to roots. Accountability doesn't mean stagnation, it means awareness. Awareness shapes movement. Movement shapes legacy. Legacy is what everyone involved is really protecting. When legacy is invoked, conversations slow down and get serious. That's exactly what happened here. As the dust settles, eyes stay open, moves will be watched, silence will be read, and alignments will be noted. That is the aftermath of a loyalty test. Not chaos, but clarity. And clarity always has a cost. Sometimes comfort, sometimes relationships, sometimes nothing at all. Time will tell. If this breakdown kept you locked in and helped you see why this moment mattered beyond the headlines, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter when the culture decides where everyone really stands.